morning everyone. Hope you all are fine and blooming. Today we are starting chapter number 4 from civics, that is key elements of a democratic government. In this chapter we will study that the key elements that influence the working of the democratic government. There are 3 key elements. Number 1, people's participation. People's participation. Number 2, resolution of the conflict. Resolution of the conflict. Number 3, equality and justice. Before starting the chapter, we will study about South Africa and the ways of the segregation of the people on the basis of race in South Africa. South Africa is a country that has a people of several races, where black people, white people and Indians were used to live. Black people who belonged to South Africa, white people who came South Africa to settle, and Indians who came South Africa as laborers and traders. This chapter has an important short story. A girl, Maya Naidu, lives in Johannesburg. Her mother tells her the story about Hector Peterson. Let's have a look on the story of Hector Peterson. As many of you already know that earlier government in South Africa governed by apartheid policy. It means separation on the basis of race. South African people were divided into white, black, Indian and colored races, and according to the law, people of these races were not allowed to mingle with each other, to live near each other or even to use common facilities. It means different facilities for different races. There were separate hospitals. There were separate hospitals, separate ambulances, separate buses, as well as separate bus stops, separate railways, separate railways lines, separate railway lines. For example, ambulance used by white people were always well equipped, while the one meant for black people was not well equipped. Non-whites were also not allowed to vote. Next topic is land. In South Africa, good and fertile land were reserved for white people, while barren land, which was poor for cultivation, was given to non-white people. All these kinds of differentiation based on races, as we have already discussed that they were not allowed to live near each other. The town where black people lived, called South Western Township. The people where black people lived, called Southwestern Township. The short form of the Southwestern Township is Soweto. S-O means South, W-E means Western, T-O means township. Soweto, the place where black people lived. Hector Peterson lived here. One day, he and his classmates joined the protest against learning the Afrikaans language in school. African language was spoken by the white people. Hector and other school students were being forced to learn this language. But Hector Peterson and the other students wanted to learn their own language named Zulu. Then the police came and started beating the students who were protesting. The police also fired on the protesters, and one of the bullets hit the Hector Peterson and he gave up his life against apartheid. So Hector Peterson died on 16 June 1976. 16 June 1976. It was a very sad day in South Africa and important day in South Africa. 16 June is celebrated as Youth Day in South Africa. As the group of people who led the struggle against apartheid, called African National Congress, called African National Congress. The main leader of the African National Congress was Nelson Mandela. You might have heard this name earlier. He was a very famous leader. He fought against apartheid for several years, and finally South Africa became a democratic country in 1994, in which people of all races were considered as equal. As we have earlier discussed, that in this chapter we will study about people's participation. In people's participation, the first topic is regular elections. In this, people make decisions in a democracy. People can choose their own representatives elections. These representatives can take decisions on behalf of the people. Behalf of the people. It is assumed that these representatives are keeping in mind the voices and interests of the people who selected those who benefit for the country. Next topic is fixed period. It is also important. All the governments are selected for the fixed period, and the period is for 5 years. Now the question arises, why the fixed period? Because if the period of the working of the government is not fixed, then the role of the people who voted them will be of no use. In this way, the power of the government gets limited by regular elections and power based on the hands of the people. Other ways of participation. Other ways of participation. Besides voting, there are other ways of participating in the process of government. By taking an interest in the working of the government and expressing approval or disapproval when required through rallies, signature campaigns, etc. For example, the government in 2005 increased the prices of electricity and people expressed their disapproval sharply. People did not want the prices of electricity to be increased. So, the government tried to explain and defend its decision, but finally government listened to the people and withdrew the increase in the prices of the electricity. There are many ways in which people express their views to convey their messages to the government. For example, dharnas, rallies, strikes, signature campaigns, etc. While newspapers, magazines and TV also play an important role in discussing government issues and responsibilities. Now, here the question, what problems facing in the government present time? The main drawback behind this, a democratic country allows people participate to vote, but not all the sections of the society to participate equally. So, another way for people to participate by organizing themselves into social movements that seek to challenge the government and its functioning. This is done by marginalized sections of the society. Marginalized sections of the society. For example, Dalits, women, etc. These are the other methods. These are the other methods and aspects of people participation in democratic government. Our next important key element is resolution of conflict. Firstly, we will discuss what is resolution of conflict and why. Resolution of conflict is a way for two or more parties to find a peaceful solution to a disagreement among them. The disagreement may be personal, financial, emotional or political. When a dispute arises, often the best course of action is negotiation to resolve the disagreement. But in this chapter, conflicts can often lead to violence act and death, which is very dangerous. Second question arises, when do conflicts occur? Second question arises, when do conflicts occur? When you are struggling between what you want to do and what you should do, while when people of different cultures, religions, regions or economic backgrounds do not get along with each other, and the next point, when someone among them feel they are being discriminated against. So conflicts may lead to violence, which may lead to fear and tension, among others living in the area. If conflicts lead to violence, so that it can create problems for everyone, because everyone leads to suffer. So it is very important that we should resolve our conflicts as soon as possible in a peaceful manner, and the government helps in resolving conflicts. There is work done by our Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution lays down the basic rules or laws, and it has to be followed by everyone. These laws are for both the government and the people. You take an example of a joint family, people living together in it, and it may have conflicts due to many reasons, or there may be comparison, like the marks of the children, the work done by women, can be compared, and the individual of the wealth of earning members can also be compared, but they all can be helpful to each other, which is a positive sample of any religious processions and celebrations. Going on roads can sometimes lead to conflicts because it may lead to inconvenience to the people, those who pass by these roads for their work, which may lead to conflict. And the government in the form of police help in arriving at a mutually agreeable decision or solution which is helpful or benefited for everyone. The police take care that no violence occurs during these religious processions and celebration. Let's take another example, the major conflict related to rivers. Rivers can also become a source of conflict between states. Here we are talking about the conflicts between the people, and now there are conflicts between the government. Now the states are fighting. A river may flow through many states. Well, states are made by us, but water in the river flows naturally. The sharing of river water between different states that the river passes through is becoming an issue of conflict. For example, Kaveri river water, long-standing Krishna Sagar Dam is made on Kaveri river in Karnataka. Mettur Dam is made on Kaveri river in Tamil Nadu. Krishna Sagar Dam is made on Kaveri river in Karnataka. Mettur Dam is made on Kaveri river in Tamil Nadu. The water of these dams, Krishna Sagar Dam and Mettur Dam, are used to fulfill the needs of both the states, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. But the conflict is due to the reason that the need of both the population is not fulfilled properly, as one state wants more water than the other. This conflict can be resolved by sharing equal amount of water between both the states, and it can be done by the instruction of central government. Next major conflict is equality and justice. Equality and justice is also play an important role in the democratic government. Equality and justice is the commitment, and these two are separable, and these two are separable. Equality and justice. Third important key element is equality and justice. Equality and justice are inseparable. Inseparable. It means when justice can only be achieved when people are treated equally. I am repeating, justice can only be achieved when all the people are treated equally. There are various steps taken by the government, and due to this people are trying to change themselves. Earlier, there was a practice of untouchability. There was a practice of untouchability which was relevant in the society, is now banned by the law and by the government. So that is a step towards equality. The government has made special provisions, facilities for groups within society, that reservation in education, jobs, ration, medical facilities, etc. Medical facilities, etc. To promote equal treatment of girl and boy child, government has made special provisions that enable girls to overcome the injustice which they face earlier. So that therefore the fees of the girls may be lowered and waived in government schools and colleges. This is done and show that women get equal treatment and opportunities. Women get equal treatment and opportunities. Equal opportunities as men in the society, so that there is no injustice to men. From this we can understand that equality and injustice are very important key element in the society, and if there is no equality, then the government takes some special steps to make some provisions to create equality and injustice. Government can take some special steps to create equality and justice in the society. Equality and justice in the society. So children, our chapter number 4 from civics, key elements of democratic government done. We have covered all the important terms and concepts in this chapter. Hope you all understood it. Thank you.